upon this position that he has attained, and I have absolute faith that he will perform it to the best of his abilities. Thank you.
Thank you. Please go through the returning officer.
To thank the returning officer for this opportunity to say a word to the Assembly. My name is Stephen Nyeko Eskodata. I applied for this position of youth. Basically, I want to do youth development, talent identification. There has been a gap in our administration between the youth and how to develop talent. But my coming in, I want to work with the new executive to make sure we have grassroots management of, identifying talent in all categories, so that we can have a good national team, a good league. Otherwise, we are having a lot of sketches in terms of...
Thank you, Mr. Nyeko.
Thank you once again.
Nominated Sandra Munduru because I know her. She's a basketball person. She's played the game before. She's been in this game and she's passionate about it. So I thought she's the right person and she will serve the best interest of the game. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Returning officer, Sandra Munduru, and I'm excited. I have not been in Fuba administration, but I'm excited and I applied for this position because I have played this game for a very long time. Many of you have seen me grow in this game, and I believe going forward, there are many things we can do to improve for women basketball in particular. The time is now. It's ripe for women basketball, and for myself and my character, you can assure you have a very focused, passionate, and driven person to do this job. People who know me know what I can do.
Thank you, Sandra.
Kamagapai. I know it called me one time. I was at home with my wife. He told me, "Pai, you know what? I want to stand for VP marketing. I need your support." Yes, he has been there. He has been in the profession for marketing and PR in somewhere. So I realized he has the potential. So I told my wife, "You guys
Thank you,
call me.
Mr. Katari.
You support the guys."
Thank you, Mr. Katari. Sorry, Mr. Kamoga. Right? Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Arnold Katavi, and I decided to stand for the position of Vice President for Marketing, Media, and Publicity because of the experience that I've gained, very valuable experience throughout my career working in the media, and it spans about 7 years. And of course, that is for media and publicity. I think that I'm the right person to be able to put our game that we love, to put it out there where it belongs to be in terms of media and publicity, and of course being the mouthpiece for the federation and all the activities of the federation. I believe that I can ably do this because I've done it before and doing it for a sport that I dearly love, that has been part of my life for 14 years. I think we're in for a good journey. When it comes to marketing, of course, taking over Grace, the man who has done a very incredible job in 1 year. I believe that all the experience that I've gained since I stepped into marketing and business development since 2008, I believe I can bring that in the game of basketball, and we can be able to take our game that we love right from the top NBL down to the lower leagues, because I've been part of the top and I've been also part of the lower leagues. So I believe that I know exactly what we need to do to make sure that our game is done there. Thank you. Thank you. Can we have Mr.
Managers, the outgoing executive, the returning officer, and all that are present. Henry is my name. I think I'm not new to you. I am a finance expert. Let me say that because I've been doing this for 18 years. I'm also a basketballer. I played basketball. I am standing here asking for your vote. Two major areas of focus that I'm looking at. One is advocacy. I want to advocate for all the stakeholders of basketball. One, the player. I've been a player. I manage players as a president of KCCA Basketball Club. I know what the players need. So being part of the executive means that I will have to advocate for players. In KCCA, we've been able to mobilize funding for our team, and indeed the players have benefited. So rest be assured that when I'm in executive, I will definitely support the players. Second, advocacy women. I really support the women in basketball. 2 days ago, we nominated up to 10 ladies to be represented in the first ever conference, which was successful. That is one thing I've done, and I can assure the ladies in the basketball fraternity that as a member of XCOM, I will advocate for you. 3, the referees, the coaches. I am your man. We've traveled for Zone 5. We always fund and facilitate referees. Mr. Chirabo is a witness. Times we fly them in, we've given them the best facilitation. Be sure when I'm there, I will definitely advocate that the referees are taken care of. How about the marketing team? I, being the president, being a worker of KCCA, has a number of contacts. I believe that the contacts that I have are definitely going to support the marketing team. I've already talked to Arnold about this, and just an example, 3 months ago, we were able to get funding to repair our basketball to 100 million through a funder. So I can assure you, the marketing team, I will be there to support you. Now the specifics. I'm a finance expert. I want to professionalize the finance function. Surely, I want to professionalize it. I want to make finance an unquestionable area. 1, I want to improve on transparency. Clearly, there is an issue. Most of you got to know about our financial position today. My pledge, I pledge to make this part of you. Every quarter, every month, we will have to share whatever information we get. If we get money from Uganda breweries like we did during this year, we should be able to know. And we will also share how we are spending it. That is my pledge. 2, I want to introduce a software to manage our accounts. You realize that there were issues of alignment of figures. Mr. Rugendo was asking about them. When you have a software, you're able to account for these figures, prepare the report on time. So that's one of my pillars that I want to move in. 2, that was the first pillar, the one of transparency. 2, funds mobilization. I mentioned it earlier, but once again I want to say that finance is a strong pillar in the growth of finances. Why? When you account for money, you are assured of getting more money. That is evident with what has been going on. National Council of Sports will not release more money to you unless you have accounted for. I pledge to continue with that kind of work, and we will definitely get more funds. So there, we will get more funds. 2, we as finance play a key role in writing sponsorship proposals. What does the sponsor need? The sponsor needs an assurance that if I put my money in Fuba, I will benefit. That can only happen if you structure your financial projection to demonstrate the benefit that the sponsor will do. So that's my pledge. I'll work with the marketing people to definitely structure the right financing. So in terms of funds mobilization, I do not believe it's purely a marketing role. I personally believe that once I'm in office, I will be able to support the marketing role. And rest be assured, our finances are going to even grow more than. The third pillar, and I will stop there, kindly, Mr. Returning Officer. So I'm used to these words because that's where I work. The third one.
And gentleman next to me, because clearly from what we saw today, we spent over, I think, an hour quarreling about the finances. I believe this is the man to put this in order. Thank you.
I hope Douglas nominating. Good afternoon to all of you. My name is Zagre Mbonye. I come from Old Timers, Lower League, and I've been the finance manager for the Lower League. The 3 things I can tell you that we have done and I want to do at Exupo is 1, collective responsibility with the managers. I don't think we should have budgets that don't have the input of managers. Managers should be able to discuss the expenses at length before we adapt. This is what we did. Today we had a budget, but no input from the managers. So I believe collective responsibility as managers, as members of Fuba. Number two, what I want to do is make it more transparent. The accountability of Fuba, like we saw earlier, there were too many questions. I believe if we are as transparent as we can be, then we'll have a better management of Fuba. Lastly, I believe finance, as finance, we sit at the back. We wait for president to bring the money, marketing to bring the money, but I believe it's now high time finance participates in the allocation of funds, resources, so that we have a better way of managing this. Lastly, I want to thank the outgoing committee. Mr. President, thank you for putting Fuba at the level it is now, and it's now our duty to take it to higher heights. Thank you.
To answer, quick tap. Quick tap, you mentioned, what I noticed, the figures you're pulling up figures from the current copy. You will see that quick tap, because we went through a bunch of
ID of yours, which is also a payment system. For us, they show up on the gate. Whoever checks in, and that system will get the printouts of who has come in and how much was collected. That's why you find people are saying, come and clear me. There's a guy who doesn't know me at the gate, because that will be quick tap. Because before we put in so much money of the gates, which they were doing themselves, which we thought was a relief from us, because we would find ourselves money for bouncers, security, or in tens of millions. Now they are able to do all that, but also now we can know how many times freedom comes to a game, such programs, and feed in details. You should be able to know that where we are as far as marketing in the world of sports is concerned. That's why now the TV that you see here, the clips, this is the new TV that you're going to have, because this one has better statistics. You can know who watches which clips of NBA games, when, and taking care of most of these other incidentals that would have rather. But, yeah, and the card, of course, license. But right now, if you still have your card, if you're a player, that is your license. We know you in the system as a player, and more that statistic. So I wanted to. He's more finance, but on the management, on the leadership side, pension freedom moving forward. And for the team that's coming in, you can consider it and look at it in more detail and see how we can explore and exploit technology better than some of us have done while in office. I don't know if there's other things.
In addition,
akalulu kabadde kalulu ffenna twagezaako okusaba akalulu kuluka abawangula kuliko n'abawanguddwa. Ng'omuzannyi na retiringa last year, nga manager nkyali mu liigi yaffe, era nsuubira nti tujja kuddamu tuzanye mu kwezi okwokuna. Oba ng'oli muzannyi obeera ng'omanyi nti buli muzannyo gw'ogendamu kuliko awangula kuliko n'awangulwa, era leero twazannye omuzannyo kuliko yawangudde kuliko neyawanguddwa. Ogenda mu maaso kuzannya omuzannyo, kulaba nga bwe tusobola okukola bye twali tukola mu mizannyo gya basketball.
The last item.
Destiny Phenos. Diamond in the Sun. Entebbe Night Riders.
key documents. I don't know if Freedom has something to say.
Kampala University. Entebbe Night Riders.
Okusookera ddala neebaza Katonda olw'okuba nti no ampadde opportunity eno okusobola okuba nga ngenda kusavinga mu Fuba Executive Committee emyaka ena egijja mu maaso naye nga of course twebaza executive ebaddewo ndowooza bakoze birungi nnyo bakoledde ddala bulungi otunulira omwami Gwenziridde Mbigere omwami Grace Kwizera abadde acontesting owa president waleeta bufunye olowooza nti no kyacontributinze ku muzannyo gwaffe ogwa basketball kikulu nnyo okuba nga yajja mwaka gumu nga twali sponsorship nasobola okuba nga aleesemu basponsor so olowooza nti ekyo kikulu nnyo kyensuubira okukola myaka ena egijja mu maaso okusookera ddala okumaintaininga relationships ze tuyina ne tulema kuba nga tuluzinga relationships ezo ze tuyina ekyo kisingira ddala n'ekirala ogezaako creatinga multiple partnerships n'ebitongole ebyenjawulo tusobole okuba nga tukola ki tukwasaganya wamu nabo kubanga omuzannyo gwaffe oba ogulabye nti gwe gumu ku mizannyo kati gisinze okukwata akati mu ggwanga lyattu Uganda ng'oggyeko omuzannyo gw'omupiira mpoziko n'emirala so nsuubira nti bwe tuba nga tukoledde wamu nga ttiimu empyezze tusobola okuba nga ate omuzannyo gwaffe tuwongera okuba nga tugwelevatinga oguteeka oba nga tuwongera okuba nga tugwongerayo oguteeka we gulina okubeera naye nga okusingira ddala okubeera nga tukolera wamu ffenna nga ttiimu okusobola okuleeta mo sponsorships okuyingira mu muzannyo gwaffe gwa basketball n'ekirala omuzannyo guno okwongera okugutwala mu communities z'abantu kubanga we tubanga tetulina product ennungi eya basketball ng'ate abantu tebatumanyiiko nga tugulese wano mba elite bokka tuba twelimitinga oba okitegedde so nsuubira nti bwe tunaba tukwasaganyiza ebintu ebyo omuzannyo gwaffe ne twongera oguteeka mu bantu tusobola okufunira ddala product ennungi esobola okubeera marketable ne twongera okuba nga omuzannyo gwaffe tugwongerayo. Yes. 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 Bw'oba tunuulidde obuvunaanyizibwa buno ekisooka bwa volunteering federation tetusasula kuba tukola emirimu gino naye olw'okuba nti nina passion ku muzannyo guno ate n'ekintu ekya marketing n'okuba nti nno nange ndi mu media so ekya media and publicity kijja kujjanga kangambe second nature simanyi second nature oba kyogera batya mu Luganda nekijja kujja nga second nature ekya media ne publicity oteekako ekya marketing bino byenkola buli lunaku so oba otunuulidde omulimu gwange gwe nnina ogwa buli lunaku nsobola okuba nga ntambuliza wamu okumarketinga ne federation eno empoziko n'okubeera nga ate olw'okuba ndi passionate about media ne publicity so ndowooza nti tekijja kubeera kizibu nnyo okubeera nga mbikwasaganya byonna ate nga jjukira nti coaching ekolebwa lwaggulo so sijjaga nti ngenda kuva coachinga weewaawo n'okuzanya so tujja kubeera nga Katonda tusaba tuwekisa tubeere nga tukwasaganya.
Olwaleero owangudde obuli 3-7-24 olowooza ki ekikusobozesa okuwangula akaluko olunaku lulala?
Ekinsobozesa okuwangula nze ndowooza nti bye birowoozo oba puroguraamu yange gye nasharinga n'abalonzi. Omulamwa gwa kampeyini yange gubadde nnyo ku kukulaakulanya omuzannyo guno ng'otandikira wansi mu baana abato kubanga ogenda kwesanga nti tulina abazannyi olwaleero be twenyumirizaamu mu Uganda wano nga Steven Omonyi, Flash Flavia. Abazannyi abo balungi nnyo lwakuba omuzannyo baagutandikira wansi ate baagutandikira mu Kittante Primary School era abazannyi bangi nnyo abaayita mu Kittante Primary naye olwaleero olw'okuba nti tetulina musingi ogwo weesanga nga n'omutindo gw'abazannyi baffe gwa kiboggwe so ffe twagala tutandikira omuzannyo guno nga tuva wansi era ye program gye mbadde ntunda eri abalonzi ne bagigula. Kati programu eyo twagala kutandikira mu masomero agali mu Central kuba ogenda kwesanga nti amasomero mangi agali mu primary tegalina na basketball courts agamu galina basketball courts naye ne basketball bamuvaako. Kati twagala tusooke tukuŋŋaanye amasomero ago mu Central, tukole program, tukole league, gatandika okuzannya mpola mpola. Eventually n'amalala gajja genda geegattako, then tweyongereyo ne mu bitundu ebirala eby'eggwanga. Ekyenjawulo mpozi ekiriwo nze ne munnange bwe tubadde tuvuganya nti mukwano gwange ng'oggyeko bino ebya politics tuli ba mukwano era tubadde mu campaign muno naye nga twekubira essimu tweweereza obumesegi, so nsuubira tugenda kubeera n'enkolagana ennungi era namugamba ne mugamba nti nze bwe nfuuka president era tugenda kusigala nga tugenda mu maaso ne programs zaffe ne programs abadde akulembera tugenda sigala nga tugenda nazo mu maaso, so sisuubira nti wajja kubeerawo obuzibu bwonna. Emyaka ena nga giweddeko nafulumya manifesto yange era musuubire nti ebyo ebiri mu manifesto tugenda kugezaako okubikola nga bwe tusobola n'okusingira ddala okuteekawo liigi zino ez'abaana abato.
Outgoing president. So the rules are based on the National Council of Sports Regulations of 2024, and these were promulgated or rather amended on the 5th of May 2017, and obviously the Fuba Constitution, which was amended on the 2nd of July 2011, and I hope you're all familiar with it. I won't be going verbatim, reading word by word. We have 7, and that is President, Vice President Administration, Vice President Marketing, Media and Publicity, Vice President Technical and Competitions, Vice President Finance, Commissioner for Women Basketball and Commissioner for Youth, Mini Basketball and Educational Institutions. The term of office for the executive is 4 years. And the Constitution allows outgoing members to be re-elected, except where the President has served for 2 terms. He's not allowed an extra term. And we must thank you. Basketball, I think you are the pioneers for this. We will need to encourage some of our other federations to learn the importance of good governance. In terms of who is eligible to stand for elective positions, the National Council of Sport Regulations indicates that for one to hold an executive position in a federation, they must have participated in the sport or been involved in the administration of that sport and be a citizen of Uganda. There's a question by Freedom. I didn't see Freedom's face, so I hope that answers that question even before we go very far. We follow the law of the land. We're law-abiding, and the President mentioned that the Constitution itself recognizes that it is subject to the law of the land. Secondly, the regulations define who has participated in sport and all of that. And permit me not to go into detail. These regulations have been around for a while. I'm sure that we're all familiar. But the regulations also indicate that a person shall not hold an executive office or be involved concurrently in the governance of more than 2 national associations. So part of the verification that we will need to do will require all the candidates to affirm positively that they are not holders of executive positions in more than 2 national federations, inclusive of basketball. Finally, the Fuba Constitution in Article 17.8 provides that executive members should be persons that have exhibited interest for basketball over time in Uganda, and who also are members of the Assembly,
They have high integrity, they have good character and are respectable, and have not been adjudged bankrupt. Again, this is standard. You don't want to be dealing with people who have got financial problems. It's one of those things, one of those leadership principles that trickles through everywhere. The Constitution provides for a returning officer in Article 12.2.1, and I think I've explained to you my recommendations to the effect that the Assembly should be the one to ratify the decision of the EXCOM. Secondly, the Constitution provides for nomination and secondment of candidates. A form was distributed and it had to be signed by two, a nominator and a seconder. Thirdly, election of members who are not present here. Again, I hope that we won't have to deal with this. I'm ably informed that all the candidates are available. The Constitution also requires candidates to sort of say a few things to defend their candidature. And the person who nominated or seconded is also required to say 1 or 2 words. So we will need to do that quickly. In terms of voting, only paid up and affiliated member clubs of Fuba are entitled to vote. And I'm sure we're all aware of that. And each club has 1 vote. So I understand that we have 2 delegates, a voting one and a non-voting delegate. For purposes of this exercise, we shall need to clearly have the voting delegates sit alone. And I hope we will be able to identify them so there's no confusion. The executive doesn't vote. In fact, there is no executive right now, so Mr. Katende and I are the executive. If Mr. Katende does not disagree, and voting is in person. The Constitution doesn't allow proxy votes or mail votes. Some people allow, if they're unavailable, they can give a voting proxy, or they can mail their votes. Our Constitution in Fuba doesn't allow that. So in terms of voting, we will be recommending secret ballots, and the ballots are here. I have the ballots here. We have an electoral register, which includes only the eligible voting clubs for the article that I've talked about. I am also required to prepare a report, which I will forward to the president, the newly elected president. And the president is required to forward a report to the Secretary General of Zone 5, FIBA Africa, within the first month of the election. So we did a quick verification, and I've been assisted by Patricia, our admin, whom I'm sure you all know. 2 candidates, but only one was eligible under the criteria, and that candidate is Sandra Munduru. For Vice President Marketing, Media and Publicity, we have 1 candidate, and that is Mr. Arnold Katabi. For Vice President Finance, we have 2 candidates. That is Mr. Agrembonye and Mr. Henry Odongo. I thought you'd clap. You've been clapping for the others. They are through. For Vice President Technical and Competitions, we have 1 candidate, and that's Mr. Joseph Manano. For Vice President Administration, we have 1 candidate, and that's Mr. Hudson Segamwenge. For President, we have 2 candidates, and the first is Mr. Grace Muguli Kwizera, And the second is Mr. Nasa Serunjogi. So the initial verification that I did, I confirmed that the people that I just read out are eligible to stand for the different positions as read out. And now you realize that a number of positions have one candidate. So it should follow that those positions are uncontested, they're unopposed. The candidates are unopposed in those positions.